Today, we're looking at the most clever and creative building techniques that you can try with Lego bricks. If we can reach 8,000 likes, I will release the next video in this Genius Lego Building Technique series. Alright, let's get started. If you're building a house, most likely you want to include some stairs. And of course, regular stairs are really cool, but even cooler are floating stairs, and you can actually do this with Lego bricks. To implant each step into the wall, you can use one of two bricks. You can either use a 1x1 brick with axle hole, or you could use a modified 1x1 brick with side stud. Both of these bricks will help you accomplish the same task, and from there you can have fun customizing it, making them longer, shorter, using different bricks on top, etc. If you've ever wanted to challenge your creativity, consider trying to build something out of your brick separators that you've gotten from different Lego sets. Builders such as Allison Grail have used brick separator pieces as fingers for different hand models, as well as other builders such as Michael Brick created this really cool X-Wing fighter from Lego Star Wars. The unique shape and very vibrant colors of Lego brick separators make them a unique, yet kind of tricky piece to incorporate into your building, so I challenge you, maybe find a way to somehow incorporate these. This is also a good inspiration from G Ghost over on Lego Ideas of making this warm winter cottage. This house also looks perfect for receiving delicious meals from HelloFresh, today's sponsor. HelloFresh delivers fresh ingredients right to your front door, eliminating those time-consuming runs to the grocery store and tedious meal planning. When I was visiting my family for the new year, HelloFresh sent over a family meal box for 4 people. Not only was it fun to cook, but I also really appreciated how the recipes were clear and easy to follow. I'm certainly not the best chef, but I sure made some delicious food in no time at all with the help of HelloFresh, and you can do the same. No matter what your food preferences are, HelloFresh has many options so you can achieve your goals. Eating well in the new year can be stress-free, tasty, and affordable. In fact, HelloFresh is 25% cheaper than ordering takeout, and best of all, if you go to HelloFresh.com and use the code SpitBrix21 in all caps, you'll receive 21 free meals plus free shipping. It's a fantastic deal and the perfect opportunity to try HelloFresh for yourself or your entire family. Go claim your 21 free meals from HelloFresh by using the link in the description below. Alright, now on to the next Lego building technique. Another technique that I've seen recently and I really love is stained glass. If you have some window frames in your Lego collection, consider taking some cheese slopes or other translucent tile pieces and kind of just cramming them inside. Each of these frames have 4 cheese slope pieces and 1 1x1 tile. Up next is a genius technique that you can use to revert the stud direction by using 2 plates. Now, just a fair warning, this is considered to be an illegal building technique because it could put stress on these plates. It also uses a slightly odd piece, which is the bucket handle. So this piece would usually be attached to a bucket, maybe from the collectible minifigures line or any other set that you have. However, if you jam it in between on the bottom of a plate, you can actually merge another one on top and they kind of sandwich together, and now all of a sudden you have a brick that you can build both on the top and bottom. You've got studs on both sides. Another very clever building technique that I've recently found out about is using some arch pieces and including bricks and placing them inside the arch to kind of create a castle gateway. This would be perfect if you're trying to create a small scale replica of a famous building or any sort of castle in your design. Continuing with this similar idea using arch pieces, these smaller ones are great for little windows. You can add some translucent tiles and really make it look like there's some sort of light perhaps coming through the window. If you have any of these 1x2 round plates in your collection, consider trying this next Lego building technique. You can stack these 1x2 round plates with tiles on top of them and create this curved structure. It has a very rustic stone appearance to it, and obviously using different colors of these bricks would make it look different, but thanks to Mock Industries for this building technique. Here's another cool one. So you can take a 1x1 modified plate and you can attach 2 1x1 bricks on either side. And now all of a sudden you have a very, very versatile brick that is unlike any other brick that Lego has ever created, and you can really have a lot of fun with this. Up next is something I like to call bracket inversion, and that's basically where you take a 1x1 brick, or really any sized Lego brick, and then attach some brackets to it. Now you have studs actually on 3 sides of it as opposed to just the top. Piggybacking off the last technique, you can actually use 1x1 headlight bricks, which is kind of like the fan term for the brick over on the left, and you can actually create basically a 1x2 brick by including another one of these as well as a 1x1 plate, and then all of a sudden you have this brick over on the right that has studs once again on 3 sides of it. There are also these interesting pin pieces that LEGO has been releasing lately, and so if you use a 1x2 round plate that we looked at earlier in one of the last techniques, you can actually kind of flip this pin and place it inside, and now all of a sudden you have basically a double-sided anti-stud brick. So you don't have studs on any of the sides, but you can still build on the top and bottom. Also, here's a very interesting idea if you're trying to build a landscape or you're trying to build some trees for your creation. This is a very simple one, only using a Lego rod piece as well as a bunch of flower stem pieces, and you can stack them on top of each other, and as long as you have a lot of these pieces, you can create a very tall tree that kind of looks like a pine tree or some sort of spruce. In every episode of this series, I try to include some sort of circular design because I think it's really steps outside of the box of what you'd think of Lego. You don't necessarily think of creating round objects using your Lego bricks, but here is something you can do very easily using just some clips, some bricks, and some sloped tiles. Here's another one that utilizes some of Lego's hinge bricks, as well as those same slopes from before. Another slightly odd technique would be to use modeling clay or Play-Doh to design custom minifigure hair pieces, or a belly. Now, something else to focus on if you really want to elevate the detail and creativity of your builds is by developing different types of walls and different textures for those walls. This one in particular was created by Simon H. on Flickr, so thank you so much for providing this image here, because you can use a lot of little pieces and attach them onto some modified bricks in order to create a very interesting wall design. This one is a little bit more polished, but it still gives that nice brick-laying design or cobblestone design. Now, I thought this one in particular was very creative. It uses a lot of jumper plates as well as a few modified 1x2 plates, and you can create this wall where some bricks are sticking out while others are still flush with the surface. Speaking of jumper plates, you can actually do another type of inversion, but jumper plate inversion. And thanks to the Brick Nerd for these diagrams, they really show you the power of some of these jumper plates. I especially like the technique over on the right that uses those Lego bricks with Technic holes, and just by adding a few jumper plates, all of a sudden you have a lot more flexibility with that brick. This next one isn't a technique per se, but more of a feature that you may not have realized with Lego bricks. This just shows the size dimensions and demonstrates how a lot of Lego bricks, they're all basically related. You can see these 1x2 plates that are flipped on their side and stacked on top of each other, and how if you place 5 of these stacked on top of each other, it's basically creating the same length as a 1x2 brick. The image on the right kind of expands on this idea because you could just continue stacking these plates on top of each other until the desired length, and then just top it off with a 1x2 brick with Technic holes. You can also use hinge pieces to attach bricks on both sides of a plate. I really like this one in particular, although this hinge piece is quite an old Lego piece. It doesn't come in many new Lego sets, but if you have a large Lego collection with some older sets, most likely you have some of these hinges, and you could try this one out. If you want to create a cube, here's another way to do it. You can wedge a couple L-shaped side panels in between some Lego plates to create this cube-type shape. Now, of course, the studs are on the inside, so you don't have any studs on the outside, but you can still build on the outside of this cube that you've just created with the anti-studs. I could definitely see this being used to create shrubbery or bushes or some sort of lantern for your build, depending on the color that you create it. Don't forget to check out the previous episodes in this series. You can click right now on screen, and also don't forget to subscribe for more LEGO videos.